Over the past 2 years, every time we've brought on a new client, there's been a huge setup phase, ICP research, list building, copy, full email sequence, and that used to be done all manually, taking us 3 to 5 hours per client to onboard. Nowadays, with this system, it takes us under an hour to onboard each client. And in this video, I'm going to be walking through the whole workflow. It's not going to be a list of prompts. It's actually going to be the actual folder, context files, and the whole onboarding build. Now, before I move on to explaining the folder structure, let's talk about why manual onboarding fails nowadays. Now, most B2B agencies are still operating at the U level. So they'd sit down, write a few prompts, pull from a Google Doc that they worked on 6 months ago. That's basically 1x of output. Every single time they want to work on their client, they have to start from scratch. Now, a prompt gets you to 2x the output, while a skill gets you to 5x the output. Now, the real jump happens when you chain those skills together and let them run in a sequence, and that is the work that happens onwards from here. Now, the system I'm about to show you currently lives across these 3 levels. What I mean by this is basically once a request is in to onboard the client, a skill document is read. Once that is read, it deploys a chain of skills, and some of those skills require agents to go ahead and pull the information. Now, let's just say once you've signed your client, all you would need is an onboarding call transcript, a discovery call transcript, and their onboarding information. Take that information, go into Claude, and provide the command of onboard, your client name, and provide the transcript, summary, and the onboarding form. From there, Claude reads the onboarding SOP that you've set out for your business. This SOP would walk through exact steps that the agent should take in order to successfully onboard the client. Now, once the onboarding SOP is read, it goes ahead and spins up agents and skills based on those tasks. So you could imagine there is a lead sourcing.md, there is a go-to-market research.md, there is a infrastructure.md, and so on and so forth. Now, once the skills and agents have gone ahead and performed the task, you'll see in your drive in less than an hour, all these documents dropped: a client brief, ICP research, cold email scripts, lead sourcing spec, a launch pack, and a lead list sample. And obviously, we're not 100% there into the whole AGI world, but in this case, a Slack notification is pushed through once the Google Drive is updated with the files. And then this notification walks through work that has been completed, work that needs to be done, so that manual work. The manual work would still be like setting up the inboxes, domains, infrastructure in that case. And then other things such as sending the brief to the client, sending approvals, and so on and so forth. Now, welcome to Claude. Here is where the magic is done. It's as simple as typing in your command that you've set up under your skill. For in this case, it would be cold email onboarding. And I did set up a anonymized client before the video just to make things easier. But over here, you dump in summaries, transcripts, onboarding form, any information about the client. And in this case, their name is Apex Digital. And I would strongly suggest also switching the model over to Opus. But in this case, for demo's sake, I'm just going to stick to Sonnet. And you go ahead and click enter. So here we have it. Claude has went ahead and onboarded our client, Apex Digital. So it has first saved the files locally, second sent it through to Google Drive, and then third has sent a Slack message. As you can see, all the 6 documents are locked and loaded into the Google Drive in docs format, so they're easily editable. And to show you kind of the formatting of how it looks, it heavily depends on the input you provide. Again, this was an imaginary client, and it went ahead and produced this output, which is pretty good enough. But obviously with your inputs, everything will change. You can see how perfectly formatted it is, and you could just make changes ongoing if needed. And here's the Slack message that it sends through the channel whenever a client is onboarded. So in this case, you can see it sends it beautifully. There's the Google Drive link, there's files ready, the kickoff summary for the campaigns, and manual actions that are required. With this, we were able to take onboarding that usually takes 3 to 6 hours or even multiple days and compact it into something that can be done in under an hour. Now, we could spend the rest of our time to do these manual activities to basically move the needle for our client. And now focusing on the backend, so you could see how everything is formatted, we have a folder named SOPs. So this is where all our SOPs are dropped into this folder. pertaining to cold email, offboarding, onboarding, paid ads, and skills and agents. So the flow works: when you message Claude to onboard a client, it goes ahead and reads this SOP. And it goes ahead and scans this file, follows it step by step, and you can see over here, it directs it to follow the cold email SOP if it's cold email, and paid ads if it's paid ads. And what our cold email SOP contains is all the steps required to set up a whole cold email infrastructure, and along with that, the skills and agents it has available to them. And there you have it. I've walked through the whole onboarding system that we use at our agency. And if you would like to see how we will build this for your specific offer or agency, go ahead to the link in the description. We'll have a look at your current setup and tell you exactly where the gaps are. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a nice day.